question, and it is about the Chinese coffee, which you directed, and I just love it.
Yeah,
I just love that.
So glad. It's a movie I made. I'm sorry, but he's talking about a movie I made. I have 5 or 6 films that I made on my own, and I did it with my own money, which I don't encourage. It's a difficult world out there. But I so wanted to do this and say...
I loved it.
Yeah, I'm glad. And I did it on my own. So it was an independent film. I did about 5 or 6. I don't know how many people here saw Looking for Richard. Anybody? Good. I'm glad. Listen, okay, I'm sorry. Keep going. So you like that Chinese?
I loved it. And what I loved about it most is compared to your gangster films, where you're just betrayed, and that comes out of the blue. In your character, Harry Levine, you work out over time that your best friend is about to betray you with the book.
Yes.
In real life, how do you know which people are likely to betray you, and which are the hangers-on, and which are the people who are genuine and authentic and you're going to deal with?
I love that question because it directs me into an area that I think is very close to me, because things change when you become famous. Mm-hmm. And when you are successful or famous or both. And that representation of friendship and that symbiosis which these two guys create in their relationship, which is the idea of that is that they were equals and they were struggling together, and they were, I mean, the movie starts with my character coming in and saying, you know, you owe me $500. You got to give it to me. I lent you this money, but really, the guy says, well, I don't have it, I get it. But really what my character is saying is, did you read my book? You know? And then finally, this is about, it comes out that the guy had read the book, the guy hates the book, and we've been very close friends for many years. But it turns out, as they keep talking, all these things come out. There's jealousy there. There's a you know, it's a movie about friendships and relationships, and I love that idea. So I made a movie of it, and it's about how fragile that can be. The relationship and friendship two people have, that it can be very fragile, and it can just break. And it's heartbreaking when it does in this movie. And you know that they were able to, again, survive. How many times have we seen stories about two people, usually a man and a woman, together, they're moving along, and then one of them becomes successful, and the other one isn't. And the divides start to come, and then they split. So it's a sense of recognizing the value of a friendship. But when I got famous, a big thing happened to me. Now, I don't know if this will apply to this, the motif of this room right now, but I found that I was involved in situations where I didn't have to earn friendship because I was famous. So instead of being myself, I resorted to more or less characters I played, or I resorted to a kind of thing, which was, well, I'm famous, it'll come to me. But we all know in order to find out where you are with someone or people, you have to engage and interface in a way that makes you realize who it is you're connecting to. Otherwise, you never know who you're connecting to if you don't show yourself. So I had to learn that throughout many years, but it was an interesting lesson, because I remember when I was a very young man at a table once, and I thought, all I can do, all I have to do is sit here, and they'll come to me. And that's what happened. And I wasn't using myself. I have a, personality, and sometimes you engage, and then you realize who responds to and how you can interface. But that is a difficult thing to do. Take my word, when you're very famous and young. So you walk that line. I learned that, but it's been so many years now. So I've learned to, see the forest for the trees, so to speak. I know that, they like me. Sooner or later, I'm going to know if they really like me, because they're going to see who I am. And once they see who you are, then they stay or they go.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for that question.
That's taxation with representation. I'll double it for you.
Oh, thanks.
Cindy, come on up from the UK. Very successful luxury estate agent and international speaker.
My pleasure.
You must vie for the title of the most charismatic man on the planet, I think, Al.
Well, I'm glad. I'm embarrassed by that. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you. As a banker for 2 decades and now in property and oil, I spend a lot of my time assessing risk. And what I'd love to know is, what is one of the biggest risks you've taken in your career?
Oh, wow. That's good. Because risk is, as my friend once said, you're as good as the chances you take, right? But, and I think it's a necessity. You have to do that. But you then learn to, you have to assess it. And unless you're taking risks blindly is a problem, I think. I've done that, where, I just took a risk to do something, and it was really the wrong thing to do. And I remember my great manager friend, Marty Bregman, who produced 5 of my movies, very successful. And he said to me, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm doing this Oedipus Rex." He says, "Okay." Or I'm doing this thing. He says, "Where are you doing it?" I said, "Well, we're doing it downtown at the studio." He said, "Okay." Then I would say, "I'm doing this, I'm making this movie." He says, "Don't make a movie. If you're going to make a movie, don't experiment. Because it's a big stage, and it's not a good idea business-wise." And I said, "No, I'm going to make the movie anyway." And I did, and it failed. But I'm still here, right? And he was right. So you need to assess just how far, because you have to have risk. You have to go far. You have to do these things. When you see, the handwriting on the wall, go ahead, go for it. Because if it's coming from you, if you're not, then it's no longer really a risky risk. It's a risk because you're dealing with a certain subject matter, with a certain kind of thing that you're saying that won't be accepted immediately by a lot of people, but you go for it. You go for it because it's connected to you and something you have to say. But when it isn't, you're just doing it for the risk, then it doesn't make sense.
Thank you so much.
Fire. I love it. Is Al doing a good job? Jennifer is from Philadelphia. She's one of the top experts when it comes down to health and life and success. Give her a big round of applause.
Hello, dear. I'm doing well. Good to see you.